Hey, love bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing, extended, beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support. It's truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. And if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're telling me about your empathic gift. And if you feel like the videos are uplifting and you want to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through trying times at the moment and just needing spiritual guidance or confirmation, validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give it a thumbs up, like, and also share the social media favorites wherever you see fit. As always, thank you so much for the love and support. It's truly appreciated. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the video I'm doing right now is called Twin Flame 101. When you're moving forward down your path, you will start losing people that only had access to the unhealed version of you. You know, a lot of people have been talking about that on these different platforms. They're talking about, how come people come into our lives for a reason or for a season. There's a lot of times that, I've been on my journey, and it's like, especially here, I met a lot of people through my platform that I've helped. There's a lot of different people that have helped me. It was like we were helping each other at that time. Some I'm still, connected to, some that universe is, parted our ways, or there's certain people that did things and I had to block, and it's so many different things. But it's just like, it took me for a while for me never to, even if it's good or bad, on why we're still talking or not, I always appreciate that life lesson with that. And there's a lot of times, when you're on a journey and you're hoping, these people will be on your journey, or you're hoping, you still have the same friends of where, that you have been having access to, where they've been having access to you for a long period of time. I feel like it's good when you can see different people in the world where, no matter what was taking place, their friends are very genuine with them. And I told somebody that today, when you have somebody who's really, truly genuine into your life, you make sure you never let that person, don't ever let that person be taken for granted. Don't ever take that friendship for granted, because it's like nowadays, or it's even been like since the test of time, it's not surprising when friends become frenemies. Anytime it's friends turn into enemies, they were always the enemies since the day one. It just took you to go through those certain situations for that projection to go through. There's a lot of times that, since my journey, there's a lot of people that I've connected with, and there's, I don't really talk to anybody anymore since I first started. But there's, just for here, when it's just like my spiritual family, there's some people that has been with me since almost day one, and that they're still with me. And there's a lot of people that I've known for a certain period of time since, I started doing my videos, that, our needs were met in that situation. And, they parted ways, and there's different things that we try to understand, like, why are these people out of our lives, or why is universe sending me, insight that I need to part ways with them? Because it's just the fact that you don't know what's going on behind closed doors when you're not present. You don't know what things are being said about you, or no moves that be made that when it's during your absence. And those are the times that you really have to, there's a lot of people that you'll skin and grin with and laugh and chuckle with, but it's just like, if you really knew the intentions they had when you weren't around, those are the times where you'll start being selective. Universe has a reason for taking everybody out your life that is no longer there. My situation, it was very hard. It was very heavy for my situation, because it was just like, there was so many people that, I went all the way out and supported, because I seen them as family. I seen them as good friends, and I've seen them as sisters and brothers. But then when it came to that time when I needed that support, everybody is just went out and went their separate ways. But, everything has a reason for happening the way it is. There's a lot of different things that I went through and people are like, hey, that's cool. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. There's a lot of different things that has happened that it is impacted me in a beautiful way. But there's a lot of times there's negative baggages that comes along with that in the same time. But then when I allowed myself to really see it, it was a blessing in disguise. There are certain things I can't, talk about. There are certain things you can't talk about prematurely. Or there are certain things that, maybe people are in your life that are comparing their lives to yours and comparing your journey. And everybody has their own journey. There's sometimes people will make you out as an opponent or a competitor. And it's like the only opponent and competitor is yourself. Whatever it was like yesterday or the week before or the month before, a year before that you're still stumbling on, this is for you to take that highlight and say, you know what, this is something that I need to allow myself to work on so it won't be interfering with what universe has for me, what is slowing me down, what is detouring me off of my purpose, of a purpose, and those are the things that you have to understand. There's certain chapters where somebody had to be with you on that certain insight. There's times people come into your life, where I see there was so many different things that I can look back at and I can truly be proud of myself for the things that I've helped people through. With my gifts, it's been it has its pros and its cons. It's like, especially if you're that type of person that you can predict certain things are happening. I mean, like I said, it's a pro, and a con is a blessing and a curse, because there's a lot of things that, I see that is very, traumatic, detrimental, and I can't intervene on that. It's just, universe's way of, giving me that signal. It's like, brace yourself. Something heavy is about to take place, or somebody's getting ready to pass away, especially in the public eye, and different stuff like that. Or, there will be different things where people are guided towards me, but they have trust issues because of different things that's taking place in their life. And, a family that has crossed over, for them to be sent and guided towards me and say, hey, I need you to help this person out. You have overcome certain things that they're still struggling with, and we need you to connect. And these are the things where we're going to allow you to know they know there is no possible way for you knowing that the general public is not having access to. So I need you to have that person know that I'm placing them in good hands, and I'm gonna give you something that is very trustworthy for them to see that. And those are the things that I really truly like. But there's a lot of times where it's like it brought up heavy emotions. It's like, even when I'm here on chat, there's a lot of my different family that comes in and we connect, and it's just like visions will start popping off, like, hey, you need to do this, or hey, we need to talk on the side because I can't say it in the video. It'll be so many different things that is beautiful to me. But there's a lot of different things that really hit deep for me. And there's some times where when God and universe is making that decision, saying, hey, this person has already marked that purpose in your life. Now it's time for you to branch off. And there's sometimes when you don't take heed of what universe is guiding you towards, sometimes you catch yourself in a worse predicament than you were when you first connected with that person. Now it's telling you, hey, if they're disconnecting you from that person, there is a reason for that. I've had different people that brought stuff into my life, and it hurt deep, because it was just like, this is not what I projected towards you. But you have to understand, there's a lot of times, even in our own tribe, there start being shifty vibes that people are like, hey, why is this person getting this gift or this insight? And I've been doing this and this and this and that. But this person was chose for that. You have to take that up with the ancient ones, the tribal ones, the ancestors, the marked ones, the connected ones, all those different ones you have to do. I've gotten beautiful, response back, but I also have threatening ones at the same time when, it triggered somebody on why do I know the things that I know. Or, it was a racial issue. And it's just, I had to be able to allow myself to just, take it like a grain of salt, and not allow myself to do that, because I had to go through, making my skin very tough. I tell anybody who's, just beginning their own channel on here, I tell them whatever you're doing, on here, you have to be able to make sure that you got tough skin. You're not easily offended by certain things people say, because there's a lot of good things that be right about you. But there'll be somebody that'll pinpoint something like, why is that picture so crooked? Just put it on something like that because you rub them some kind of way. Your vibration is a trigger to people. And that's not something that, sometimes we'll take that personal, and that has nothing to do with you, and those are the things that takes place. There could be different people that'll come back and say, hey, such and such was talking about, you negatively, and they were saying all this and this and that. And sometimes you don't know how to respond to that, but it's just like me, I had to learn. And my best response for that is like, oh, okay. Them talking about me is like projecting what they feel about themselves. But why? The good question is, why do they feel like they're so comfortable about talking about me in front of your presence? That's what the question needs to be. Because usually if that happens too often, is that person that is bringing a bone back to you is that same one is going to take something back. And I've dealt with that a lot of times in my life. And sometimes I had to pay dearly for that, because I entertained those different fiasco type situations, whatever. And those are the things you have to understand. People get access to the part of you that was very insecure about yourself. So you're going to get different people that have their own insecurities, and maybe that can clash with your insecurities and stuff like that. Or there'll be somebody that'll come in and they'll show that part to you that you may not have noticed before. Are you struggling with, certain things that you doubt yourself? Because you're a beautiful person, but why do you keep, downing yourself for the flaws that you have? Universe is always telling you nobody is perfect. Even the most, gorgeous person or secure person has certain things that they're very self-conscious about. So it's just like, it's like a catch-22 kind of like situation. But there's a lot of different times that people come into your life, and it's just, to me, if you say certain things and then you place boundaries up and people get upset about that, that's right there letting you know they were coming into your life to manipulate you in some kind of way where they become triggered on that. Because anybody who's positive and you say, hey, I don't like talking about certain things like that, it's like, oh, okay, I can respect that. That lets you know that person is okay with those boundaries, because pretty much they probably got their own boundaries too, and those are the things you really truly will appreciate through the growth process of your spiritual awakening, awakening the part of yourself that's been dormant. It allows you to know your strengths, but it also project your weaknesses on what needs to be fixed. It was like when I first started, I always connected myself to my trauma. I always connected myself to my pain. And, I had to have that rude awakening with someone that had to allow myself to like, Roslynn, you're a good person. But why, when you define yourself, you're always defining yourself on connecting that pain that brought you on this spiritual path in the first place? And I really got offended about that. But then it was just like, when you allow yourself to really back up and really analyze that, I was like, dang, I'm not allowing myself to bring that positive person out of me. It's like, yes, we have all dealt with trauma. If you have not, you're a very blessed person, but those traumatic situations hold purpose. Pain holds purpose, that can lead towards bigger and better things. There will be certain things that can really, rub you the wrong way in life. And you're like, I never want to feel like that ever again. And, I never want anybody else to feel like that. So I want to be able to help others that maybe, are going through these different things. Because a lot of times you go through some hectic tragedies, and it can really shake you in the wrong way, and there's a lot of times you don't get your truth, you don't get closure and stuff like that, but it's leading you towards a path, and I tell everybody that, especially if you're a Heyoka and stuff like that, you get hit heavy with a lot of things. There's probably like one or two people that I can remember that said, you know what, Roslynn, I've never been in a traumatic situation. I didn't have to deal with neglect or abandonment or any kind of abuse. I was, raised up in a prominent family that was very supportive of me. And I'm like, you know what, that is so good, and I was blessing that person, because there's a lot of people, I don't find too many people that are not on that situation where their trauma impacted them to where that's going to lead you towards a mission or purpose to help everybody else that you're, is going to come into contact with you, that can remind you of what you went through and what you have overcome. Because a lot of times we don't realize, a lot of people that we connected with in our lives, in that way, especially, you're going through different things. You can see when you become a trigger for people, just the way their vibration changes. Everything's all said and good when you're laying low or you're watering yourself down. You allow yourself to step up and lower yourself to different frequencies just to appease somebody else. And it's like, I used to do that. I used to dumb myself down. I used to water myself down. Now I'm at that time where I'm not going to entertain that. If it's going to be negative, or I know it's going to take energy from me, or you just emotionally, mentally, and spiritually draining me. If you can't meet me at the pinnacle of the frequency I'm at that brings peace, comfort, compassion, support, and balance, it wasn't meant for you to connect with me anyway. Bless you. Namaste and peace out. And you have to be that way with yourself. There's a lot of different things that comes into your life where you'll see where people abused you. You see where people took advantage of you. You seen somebody who just went downright and just hurt you in the worst possible way, even when you didn't give them a reason to. You have to understand, there's people out there that never had a genuine friend. They didn't have people in their life that came in with no kind of hidden intentions, no kind of negative or painful motives, and they don't know how to react to somebody that comes in and say, you know what, I can relate to a lot of different things that you have seen, a lot of different things you are going through. Like, let's connect and help each other grow. And a lot of times they don't know how to do that. And a lot of times we've been through a lot of negative stuff in our lives. When positivity hits in, that's a trigger within itself, because you're so used to being played to the left. You're so busy allowing ourselves to be connecting with somebody that is going to take us further down the rabbit hole that we already need to be. Or shoot, you be coming out and they trying to knock you right back down. All those different things. And that's the reason why certain people cannot stay on that path with you. There's a lot of times where it took, it's the two-sided street, if I put it this way. There's a lot of people in your life that needed you for something you have overcome, and they needed to get that insight, like, hey, how did you heal from these certain things? I'm still having issues with that. I'm still struggling. And then you allow yourself to be that cheat sheet for that person that's still in that set survival mode or existent mode. They're not allowing themselves to live or experience anything good, because they're still struggling with certain things. It's hard for them to let go of. This right now, we're all being to where everything's coming up to the surface right now. The universe is like, hey, I need you to get to the side so you can reevaluate this, because this cannot continue. Okay, this you need to make peace with and let go. You've been holding this situation for a long time, because a lot of times we have been ace boom coons and A1 since day one with trauma, heartbreak, hurt, pain, anything that has impacted us in a traumatic way. And those are the things that you had to deal with. But you're going to also meet people that, it mirrors certain things to you that you need to figure out about yourself. Because a lot of times I've had so many people, I even said it too, still learning about my own self, about my own path. Why do you attract narcissistic people, sadistic people, masochist type people, socio and psychopaths? Because there are certain parts of you that get turned on by that. There's a certain type of you that get attracted to certain things like that. Or there are certain things of you that you can truly identify with that into your life. Because a lot of times we're like, dang, is this something I'm mirroring out? Because right here, this is just too disturbing. And a lot of times it's not something that you are projecting out, but somebody needed that insight that you carry. Or there may be somebody that's coming in that you were asking for that insight. You're looking for that light of clarity in some kind of way. And universe brings you right there with that person. They can identify with you on so many different things. It's just like, especially sometimes people see you as, their twin flame. You have to understand there's more than one twin flame. I feel like there's always a twin flame experience, as well as a soulmate, a kindred spirit, a karmic cycle person, whatever, that on every level you're finding that person. Like if you're on a twin flame journey, you're going to find different ones that connect with that certain stage in your life. And then when y'all ignite and y'all connect and you start learning different things from each other, and boom, okay, That story is over. Yours is ending. Y'all are getting on a new chapter. Then you come in with other people that are going to learn that as well. And there are certain people that are going to be in that limelight of whatever blessings you got coming your way. But there are some people that, messed up their own thing. There's a lot of different things where you have connected with somebody into your life, or it could be vice versa. Sometimes we mess up our own blessings just because the energy we keep, we start comparing, we start getting jealous, we want to start manipulating, we want to make sure, since my life don't feel this way, I don't think they deserve this either. So if my life is so mediocre, I want their life to be that too. And not realize universe and God manipulated some kind of direction for you and that person to connect, for you to get that blessing. And a lot of times we mess that up for our own selves because we had jealous spirit, or we had competition type spirit, or we started looking down on them, any kind of thing. But that's the reason why you go through a lot of stuff in your life. You're going to see the true intentions of people through your worst moments. And a lot of times, when I say I've seen it, and that's why I said, it's better safe for me to keep a distance, just be straight, professional and stuff like that. Help people the way they need help. But you can't, because universe right now is saying you can't just open up to everybody right now, because you're getting so many people sent to you in so many different directions, and you don't know until universe is telling you, hey, be certain things you want to share a picture, or you want to talk about something, all of a sudden the phone will disconnect, or the text message didn't go through. That went for your own protection. Your rejection is for your own protection, not realizing that. But there's many different stages that's going to take place into your life where you needed to meet certain people for something to be highlighted, spotlighted for you to know, or something that you may held for, it's going to be for that other person. So no, there's a lot of times people are not going to have that full access to you when you get completely healed, because they already made their mark into your life on how they needed to, as well as you did for theirs. But anytime the most traumatic thing could happen into your life with you and that individual, but never look at it like that, even though it may not be able to see something positive out of that. There was some positive out of that negative that gave you that spotlight to know what experience that was, to teach you life lessons, to clear certain slates that is taking place in your life that you have not allowed yourself to clear from. Certain things to look for, red flags, also white flags, different things that's taking place that's going to give you that power as well as that light source for you to keep going. So whoever has been there for you through thick and thin, that has been, just straight loyal to you, made sure, they had your back regardless if you were in the face or behind, those are the people you make sure that you let them know, I appreciate you. I want to be there for you just like you are for me. And, we got this in there together. And when you can have that hook, line, and sinker, you have somebody like that, never, let them get away. Those are the ones you're supposed to really hold close. So never take anybody for granted. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video, y'all. Let me give a post notification shout out to Moon9, the philosopher, Diamond D, Queen. Here's your shout out. I know you were asking me for one, so I said I'll go ahead and do that. Farrah Hazard and Brian Dodry, much love to you. Francis Cletus Morleda, and you tripping, much love to you as well. I always leave my contact information in the description box below. I will be having a chat in probably an hour, and 20 some minutes. So, hopefully you'll be able to come through with that. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, share, give a thumbs up, drop a line. I would love the chance to get to know you. Like I said, I'll leave all my contact information in the description box below. It's all about spiritual networking. If you needed some advice or some insight about your spiritual guidance or whatever, or you're struggling with something, or you just want to share something and just, get my advice or insight about it, I try my best to be able to do that. And whatever information you need to give you a deeper perspective of your path, I try my best to do that as well. And whatever we speak on is confidential. And then I leave my contact information in the link of my podcast as well that I have on Spotify and different podcast sources as well. So I hope you have a blessed, safe week. Whatever you're trying to manifest in your life, I hope it comes 10 million times better than you ever expected and comes sooner than you actually predicted at the same time. Even through social distancing, make sure you give out the love vibration and words of, comfort, uplift, and kindness. You never know. All those things can really take somebody a long way. You'll see me on my next video. Much love to you. Peace.